Hello and welcome to Real People True Story. This morning I'll be reading a story to you about the Director General of the Labour Party presidential campaign, Mr. Doyin Okupe. 10 hours before his resignation, one Mr. Awuzie has written concerning it. He called for the resignation and he gave detailed explanation as to why. So I want to read to you this explanation of Mr. Awuzie concerning the resignation of Mr. Doyin Okupe. Remember that Mr. Awuzie has written calling for this resignation 10 hours before the man actually resigned. Mr. writes, why Doyin Okupe should resign with immediate effect and the truth about his conviction by Awuzie. Firstly, Doyin Okupe was not convicted of stealing government money. Please study the conviction with a bit of comprehension. He was convicted of violating the Money Laundering Act, which provides that no individual or organization should receive any sum above 5 million and 10 million naira respectively without passing through a financial institution. Most Nigerians are guilty of violating this provision, especially if someone has ever given you over 5 million in cash, whether they are your customers or parents. However, we also can't deny the source of the money Doyin Okupe received. Part of the money he received, 10 million monthly, was from the scandalous 2.1 billion hams deal, which he claimed was to enable him run his office and pay his 23 employees. Please note that these funds were approved by then President Goodluck Jonathan himself, according to Doyin Okupe. So he wasn't convicted because of those funds he received, but he was convicted by how he received those funds, which was a violation of the Money Laundering Act. The fact people think that he was convicted for stealing money is evident that millions of Nigerians do not even know about the Money Laundering Act. I have shared this information solely to inform the ignorant and not to defend Doyin Okupe. Femi Fani Kayode, FFK, was also charged for the same money laundering after he had allegedly received 26 million in cash from Dasuki. But he joined APC and the cash has been swept under the carpet. I am fine with the conviction of Doyin Okupe, but I just wish that this isn't a political witch hunt against his new party. But whether it is witch hunting or not, we need a country where the law will respect nobody. We await the conviction of Doyin Okupe's colleagues now in APC who were charged with the same crime to believe that this is not political witch hunting against a particular candidate. I will end this post by calling for the resignation of Doyin Okupe as the Director General of the Obi Dati campaign organization. He has served this organization, but he needs some time to do some introspection at this trying time. Those attempting to score cheap political points with this conviction should remember that both Tinubu and Atiku are surrounded by people involved in the Dasuki gates. Rena Omokri served with Okupe in the same government and ran away from Nigeria to avoid possible money laundering charges. FFK was charged by EFCC for the same, but he is a leader in Tinubu's camp, so he is safe. The current PDP chairman allegedly received hundreds of millions from Dasuki. As an obedient Nigerian, I call for the immediate resignation of Doyin Okupe. This will re-establish the fact that Labour Party is truly the new era of Nigeria politics and different from the other two parties, which are filled with the worst class of political vampires Nigeria has ever had. So Mr. Charles goes further to say his name is Charles Awuzie and he believes the establishment is doing everything possible to frustrate the obedience movement. They have searched for deaths on the main man, that's Mr. Peter Obi, and found none. The closest thing they could get will be the people in his team. But the man Peter Obi is smarter than them all. So guys, what do you think about this write-up? I think this one is very educative. You may think he's silent, but he's calculating his next move to disarm this establishment. Thank you, Mr. Charles, for this explanation. A lot of people, we've read a lot of things right now in the internet concerning this issue. One thing that stood out for me in this write-up is that the new Nigeria is going to be found in a very solid foundation. Any debt in it will remove it and will lay it as a foundation that is rockily strong. And that's what Mr. Peter Obi is doing. Thank you so much, Mr. Charles, for explaining to Nigerians the integrity of this case. It's the only shadow we will hear in the internet is how the man stole the money, how he didn't steal the money, the way he received the money violated the Money Laundering Act. And as we have seen, a lot of them in this political campaign are charged with same case, but we are waiting to see if they will come out soon. So thank you. Please follow this page for more videos of this, more accurate news of this, where we can enlighten you, for you to have the accurate knowledge of